Hi guys, this is Christina Warren, Senior Tech Analyst at Mashable.com, and I am living with Lumia. So this is my 7th day of my experiment, and a weekend I have to say, it hasn't been as bad or as difficult as I thought it would be. Other than using my iPad a tiny bit this weekend to play Bejeweled, I've been almost completely cold turkey, off of iOS. I haven't even really been testing any apps or anything, which has made some of my developer friends angry. Sorry guys. A weekend, I've gone over my past video updates, kind of the process of getting, stuff onto my phone, getting my data over, some of my battery issues that I had, which hopefully have been cleared up by now, or at least are looking that way, and, kind of the various situations with how web browsing works and kind of the state of apps on the device. But I wanted to kind of talk a little bit, speaking of apps, I kind of wanted to focus on for today, my 7th day wrap up, a little bit of some of my favorite apps so far on the platform. And I have to say, the number of big name apps, Microsoft, I think they say that they have something like 97 out of the top 100 or 44 out of the top 50 or something like that apps on the platform, and that's true. And certainly not all apps are created equal, but aside from Hulu, Instagram, and maybe a couple of others, I haven't really been lacking in terms of needing to find an application. But I wanted to kind of give a shout out to some of my favorites, and some of these are smaller apps, and I want to give it up to indie devs, and some of these are bigger, more official apps. But I wanted to kind of give a shout out. So first up, I've mentioned a couple of these before, but first up, I want to give a shout out to Fourth and Mayor, which is a really, really good Foursquare client. And it's actually, in my opinion, a lot better than the official Foursquare client. Fourth and Mayor is awesome. I also really, really like the Amazon apps. The Kindle app works great. The Amazon mobile app is nice. I also really enjoy the Audible app because I love to listen to audiobooks, and that's an important thing for me. I've also been using Baconit, which is a Reddit client, and I've mentioned that one before, and it's really good, and you should go ahead, if you're a Windows Phone 8 user, if you use Reddit, go ahead and buy the premium version, because that just is supporting the dev. There are no different functional differences between the two, but give the dev some love, because Quinn has done a fantastic job. Baconit is awesome. I also really like Blueprints, which is a good Tumblr client, and right now it's going to be completely free for like 3 months, but again, I think that's worth the money for it. I've also been using, I've been struggling to find a really great Twitter client, and I've kind of settled on Rowie. I think that's probably my favorite right now. I've also tried Meddo. I've tried, some of the Me Tweets. I've tried Twabbit. Tried a bunch of them. Rowie, I think, is basically where I've kind of wound up. But if you were an app.net user, which I also am, .dot is a good app. It's not as feature-rich as some of the clients on iOS, but it's awesome to see app.net support here on Windows Phone, so go app.net. I also have been using Feathernotes, and this is one that I discovered today, and it is a Simple Note client. And if you're not familiar with Simple Note, it is an app and a service, and it runs on iOS and I believe Android, and it basically lets you keep your text documents synced across multiple devices. And I write 99.9% of everything that I do in a syntax called Markdown. And so what's nice about this app is that it let me write in Markdown and then preview that syntax formatted. So this is an awesome app for that purpose. I've actually moved away from a Simple Note into Elements on iOS, but I still have my Simple Note account, so that's really nice. I've also been using Evernote a ton. Evernote is obviously a great app, and if you're an Evernote premium user, as I am, I love being able to access any of my notebooks, any of my notes, and I love that in Windows Phone you can actually pin like the new note, either it's text or audio or clipping or whatever it is, directly to the start screen, which is really nice. I've been using Lomogram. There are a bunch of different kind of Instagram clones. That one's probably the closest. I don't like it as much as Instagram, obviously, and I can't post to Instagram, but the filter effects aren't terrible, and that's pretty good. MetroTube, awesome. Everybody says this. MetroTube is fantastic. It is so good. It's a great YouTube client. The official YouTube client is actually just a link to m.youtube.com, which is pretty weak, but MetroTube is awesome. And I want to give a shout out to the guys at MetroTube, because their Twitter app Tweetro for Windows 8 they had to pull it because of Twitter's arcane new API limits, and that sucks. So MetroTube is awesome, and they're great, and whatever they release for Windows 8 or Windows Phone 8, I say is like must download. I've been using the Nokia Maps, the Nokia Transit app a lot. I don't drive, I'm in New York City, so I haven't been using the Nokia Drive, not just for the battery issues that it might cause, but because I don't need it. But I do love the Nokia Transit, that works really well. The nice thing I love about Nokia Maps is there is a view where you can view like public transit stations nearby, which is a really nice feature. I've been also I found some various podcatching apps that work okay. I haven't found one that I love completely, but probably podcasts with an exclamation point. I've been using the free version of that for streaming podcasts versus downloading them locally, and that's been a really good app for me. On the shopping side, I'm actually going to be going on to Fox Business News a little bit later today in like the next 45 minutes to talk about Black Friday and online shopping tips. And so one of the things I'm going to be mentioning are apps such as Shop Savvy and Red Laser, and both of those are actually available for Windows Phone. So props to those companies because that way you can use your beautiful phone as kind of a device to take photos and stuff. Slacker Radio and Rdio are both on the platform, even if Spotify isn't, so I've been using both of those. Vivo is awesome. I've been using Woocher, which I really enjoy. There's also if you're an Xmarks and LastPass user, they have apps for the platform which are really good. So that's just kind of some of the apps I've been using. And then if I go into games, I want to kind of show off, the games that I've been playing. Oh, and Comfortable Reader for Instapaper. I've mentioned that one before, but I love it. If you're an Instapaper user, Comfortable Reader, top notch. So, the game situation here is decent, and I've linked this up with my Xbox account. I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want to be inundated with Xbox friend requests. Sorry, but I've been playing, just some basics. I've been playing Taptitude, which is cool. Texas Hold'em, Words with Friends, Logo Quiz, Wordament, which is awesome. Sudoku, which is also an Xbox Live game, Bejeweled Live, and so a lot of these are really good. I've also played Sally's Spa. I would buy Sally's Spa and Sally's Salon again, but I've bought them both like 3 or 4 times over, and I know this game so well that I kind of don't want to do that. But if you like those sorts of time management based games as I do, then that's really great that Sally's Spa is here because it's not an Android. Go Windows Phone. And that's just kind of been what I've been doing. A lot of the built-in apps are really good. I have to say that when it comes to posting to Twitter and Facebook, I enjoy using the built-in Me Hub just as much as I would use official apps. And I have to say, too, that the mail client is awesome. One of the really nice features with Google Mail is that you can actually search, if you're using a Google Apps for your domain account, like a group account, if you've got a integrated contact list attached to that account, which we do for our company directory, you can actually search that directory from within the native email app from within the Google Mail, which is awesome. And frankly, I wasn't expecting like that much of a feature to be supported, but it is, and that's really awesome. I also love the People Hub. I talked about that in the last video, but I love the People Hub, so that's right up there. So those are just kind of some of my favorite Windows Phone apps, let me know what your favorites are in the comments so I can try them out. I want to kind of have like a great list. We're going to put together some stuff at the end of the 10 days. I'm going to have like an easy list where you can like see everything that I've used and reviewed and kind of like would recommend with easy links and stuff like that. So let me know what your favorites are in the comments for sure and what stuff I should check out. But you know what? I'm 7 days in, and so far so good. And I have to say, one of the great things has been that the response that I've been getting just from my friends and people who happen to see me on the street and what they think of the phone. So that's pretty exciting. So thanks, guys. Continue to leave your feedback for me in the comments on the post. Reach out on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm film_girl. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.